What's up, guys? Jake with T and Tab. Going to do another special video. Today I've got a little bit of a Black Friday special for you. Today we are talking about the blacksmith indoor gun rack that can actually hold up to 12 of your rifles on pretty much any wall or surface that you may have around your house. Now, I'll be upfront with you guys, this is obviously clearly a little bit different for the channel, but it was something that caught my attention that I thought you might be interested in. They did send out a free one for me to test and set up and actually keep, so please keep that in mind. But I'm happy to say that this thing is pretty straightforward and simple, and well, with simplicity, you don't have as many opportunities to mess up, and honestly, I think they did a good job with this. And if you're interested in getting one of these for yourself after you see how we have ours set up, then I will include an Amazon link down below somewhere, possibly a discount code as well, so just keep an eye out for that. But let's get right into it. So this is the Blacksmith Indoor Gun Rack. It's made of heavy duty steel for the bracing that goes up against the wall, as well as the hooks that they use at the top and bottom to actually hold your guns in place. And I first got into this, I was a little bit intimidated. It came in a box and it came with lots and lots of pieces. Turns out that was a little bit of a delusion on my part. Turns out it was actually very simple to set up. I called my dad over. He came over and helped me set it up. Once we got everything out of the box, we realized that it's a lot more simple to set up than we originally thought. You essentially have three panels that go along the top and along the bottom. Now this is for the 12 rifle version. They also make it in 8, 6, 4. And I guess if you wanted just to have one or three guns hanging on your wall, I would say if you're going to get one of these, the best bang for your buck, pun intended, is going to be the 12 slot rack, because you can get the black version for $119.99. Also, guys, I just found out I got nominated for Micro Influencer of the Year. It's a new category essentially for the Gundies, which is like the Office Dundies almost. Pretty cool that I got this. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link when it comes out down below to their website. You get free entries to sweepstakes and giveaway stuff every time you vote. You can vote every day, all that good stuff. It'll really help me out. So I'm just going to put that on your radar. Again, voting starts December 1st, so it's not quite time yet, but kind of cool. But going back into the initial step, at first I thought it came with a lot of parts. It really uses 3 steel panels along the top, as well as 3 steel panels along the bottom. You set those 3 up, you mount them properly, make sure they're level and all that good stuff. And yes, of course, with this being a full review of this product, I do have some beautiful, very nice B-roll footage for you guys to see the setup process. If you've ever hung up anything onto a sheetrock wall before, you're probably familiar with this process yourself. It actually comes with some hooks that you can easily latch onto without using any tools or anything, and even take off for that matter, super easy. And you can position however you need to give your rifles enough room. For example, I had to space these out roughly about an inch to an inch and a half apart of each other, just because of where the top end of the hooks, when they stick out, it just needed a little bit of extra room, but obviously there was plenty of room there. A nice thing I want to point out about these brackets, both on the top one and the bottom ones, is that they are designed specifically for rifles. But not only can you use them for rifles, but you can use them for really any kind of long firearm that you might have. For example, I chose to hang up a bunch of different my firearms up here, not just AR-15s, not just hunting rifles, but also in between we've got a Kel-Tec, we've got a Chris Vector, a shotgun, PSA Jackal, which is a little different, MP5, a bunch of different things on here, and they all were just fine sitting up here without any issue. In fact, the only one that had a problem with getting on there is my 30-06 bolt action, which is only because I have a bipod attached to it. But you'll see at the very top, there are these little rubber, like little locking pieces, little locking straps that you can put in, and that really helps secure your firearm in place. So I can, in fact, stretch those over my bipod if I needed to. In addition, both the top and bottom brackets are coated in like rubber to essentially keep from scratching your guns. I also like that they made the bottom brackets very secured in sort of like a G-shaped pattern to where it can't really escape. It can't fall through. It can't wobble out. It's in there. Like once you got your buttstock or pistol brace, it's good to go. It's not going anywhere. All right, so my thought process here is that I've got 2 different ARs here. This one on the left is a 16-inch standard length AR. This one is a 10.5-inch barrel AR. I'm probably never going to do anything shorter than this. So I had that sort of like my standard as how short it can go. And I've actually got the buffer tube, the stock or brace, excuse me, fully extended out. So this is like the absolute longest that can be. On this side here, I've got my 16-inch barrel AR, and I've got the stock here contracted as much as it can be too. And this seems like a pretty good height, roughly, for being able to mount essentially anything up on this rack that I might have. I'm not going to really ever have anything longer, but I may have a couple other guns that are going to be about 10.5-inch barrel length like this one. So this was kind of the main important factor. I could make this brace sit shorter on the 10.5-inch barrel, but then we may come into problems here with lights and lasers and coffee makers, all kinds of shit that might get in the way of this bracket. So that's kind of why I went with that. I wanted to make sure that it was going to be short enough to allow my shortest AR, my 10.5-inch PSA. At the same time, I wanted to make sure my longest AR, which is a standard 16-inch barrel, was also going to be able to use the same rack at the same appropriate height. They weren't the same height, obviously, but they were close enough to where I was able to make them both be usable on this rack. So good on them for that. I like that you can literally make it any height that you want, and you don't have to worry about being stuck at any particular length or setting or anything like that. So overall, this is a very good system. It's very compact. I mean, if you want to compare it to, for example, my gun rack right behind me here, I mean, you can see my guns take up a lot more space on this wall. And this is, I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, not even counting these pistols. Look how much space those take up. 12 guns like this in a nice compact space on my wall versus having them spread out all over the place like I have behind me here. Now, the trade-off is obviously this looks cooler, right? Like you got people come over for Thanksgiving like I'm about to today. This looks way cooler. It looks way more fun to show off versus the rack like we're going to be using here. But realistically, if you're getting this, you can still show off to your friends by just taking it off the rifle rack and be like, look, check this out. Is that a factor that you should even consider? Not really, but I just wanted to include that in there because I know that might be a factor to some people that they may want to think about. I don't know. This video is very straightforward. It's a sturdy rifle rack. It can handle up to 200 pounds of weight. So with 12 large rifles racked on here, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. It's very straightforward. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it comes down to. It's super straightforward. And if you want to expand it and lengthen it out horizontally even more to put more rifles on there, you can. You can just buy another kit and just connect it right next to it. There's nothing to prevent you from making it a specific length. In fact, if you're savvy enough with a Dremel, I would argue you could possibly even make it shorter by cutting the steel bracket yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that there's a lot of options. Or buy the 12 rifle kit and maybe put just 2 brackets up top and 2 brackets on bottom, allowing you to store 8 guns instead of the 12 guns. So really, it's just kind of customizable to whatever you really want to do. Of course, you can put spaces in between them, but I could ramble on and on about stuff you could do with this, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's a rifle rack. Like, that's it. Is it good? Yes. If that's all you need to know, then yes, it's good, it's sturdy, it seems reliable. I think it's good to go. And for that, I like it. Special thanks again to Blacksmith for sending this out to us. We really do appreciate it. Again, a little bit different for the channel, but hey, you know what? We got Black Friday today, and I thought it might be worth talking about with you guys. Again, there should be a code down below somewhere or a link or something. I don't know. And if not, then check back. There should be one later. Seems like a good value. $150 if you want the green or yellow version, whereas if you prefer just a solid black brackets on the top and bottom, then you're in luck. That's $119 right now. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. We will see you next time.